Okay, notes for the day. Northern Renaissance. So remember I told you the early Renaissance or the Italian Renaissance was the same thing. And after that we have the Northern Renaissance, which is like France, Germany, I forget what other countries, but anyway, all the other countries they were just a little more behind. And this is the characteristics of the Northern Renaissance. You have to know this. Our fascination with detail and the presentation of nature. So you're going to see a lot of pictures with more pictures of nature, not just like portraits and things like that. And you're going to see a lot of little small details in the pictures. I'm going to show you where we're going to be. It's kind of these countries right here: France, Switzerland, Germany, the Netherlands. That whole area is where the Northern Renaissance. If you were down here, this is Italy down here. So we're above that. All right. So we're going to start with Netherlandish art. And the main person you need to know is Peter Bruegel. And he actually is Peter Bruegel the Elder. His son was also an artist, but Peter Bruegel the Elder is the more famous one. This one is called Peasant Wedding. And you'll notice there's all kinds of small little details in here, from the little pies to all the little things hanging on the wall, all the things going on. This is called Peasant Wedding. And Peter Bruegel was known for his paintings of common everyday people, either doing celebrations or everyday events. Okay, so common everyday people. That's what this means. Painted everyday people in their daily activities and special festivals. And so this one is called Hunters in the Snow. Peter Bruegel the Elder, and you'll see that they're outside, and he has a lot of paintings that show a lot of nature in it, the dogs in the snow. Okay. All right, Hunters in the Snow. Make sure you can identify that one. And the other one you should make sure you can identify is Peasant Wedding. Okay, so then we also have Jan van Eyck, who is from the Netherlands, and he excelled at portraying light and having light sources. And this is called the Arnolfini Wedding. And everything in Jan van Eyck's paintings were symbolic. So I'm going to give you a few of the things that are symbolic in this painting and what they symbolize. And I might ask you to name 2 or 3 in a future quiz. So make sure you have those. So she is not pregnant. First of all, everybody asks me that every year. It's just the style of dress. It had this big bustle underneath it and made them look really big, so their waists look really tiny. So that's just how the style of dress is. His hand held up is a symbol of him making a pledge. Okay, if you look over here, you'll see the shoes are off as a symbol that this is holy ground. This is a sacred, holy moment, this wedding. This dog right here in the middle is a symbol of loyalty. The peach over here on the counter is a symbol of fertility, or a blessing of fertility on the marriage. There is only one light lit on the chandelier. That is a symbol of unity. Back here on the wall is Jan van Eyck's signature, and it's written in a way to like that he's a testament, that he's a witness, like you would sign a wedding license, a marriage license. He has it signed here on the back. And if you look really close, there's a person in this mirror, and that actually is Jan van Eyck himself. He painted himself in as a witness of the picture. So those are some of the ones I can think of. Just remember a couple of those if you can. So the Arnolfini Wedding, Jan van Eyck. And Jan is a man's name. Okay. This is also Jan van Eyck. This is called, I believe this is the Annunciation. And this was Mary being visited by the angel, being told that she would have a baby. And notice it's not anywhere like what it would have been realistically, because these were drawn in the clothing of the time period, so the 1400s, and in a building of the 1400s. So he took the story and put it in what at his time was a modern day setting. All right. So then we're going to do both the Netherlands and Germany today. Neither one are very long, and that way we will have time to take your quiz on Thursday. So this is Albrecht Dürer, And a juror is more how you say that with the dumble. I forget what it's how you called it, an oblong, I think, over the U. This is a self-portrait, and he is one of the first artists, at least one of the most first famous artists, to create a self-portrait. So he's well known for that. He's a little bit of a Renaissance man because he did painting, woodcuts, engravings, and drawings. He did a whole bunch of different mediums. Okay, so Albert Dürer, this is one of his woodcuts. And what's interesting is up to this time, if you did a painting, only the rich people owned the paintings. And because this was a woodcut, you could make prints of it over and over. So he would make like 100 prints of every one of his wood cuttings. So the common people would start to own some of these as well. And there you can find these today still. People find them um, in attics and whatever all over Europe, and they're worth a lot of money because there's still only 100 of each one, but not, there's not tons of them around, but it is more common to find one of these. This is called Four Horsemen of the Apocalypse, and most of his woodcuts were of religious stories because he would use those to tell religious stories and then have them printed and set around to help tell the stories. So this is the Four Horsemen of the Apocalypse. This is Albert Dürer. And then this is also an Albrecht Dürer. This is just called The Hare. But what's significant about that is it's actually done in watercolor. And he is one of the first painters to use watercolor as a finished product. They used to just use watercolor to practice their oil paintings. And he actually did finished pieces in watercolor. So that was a pretty big deal. And I always think his signature is kind of cool. He did this AD as his signature. So like that. All right, one of the first to do works in watercolor. Okay, this was his last major work. This was called The Four Apostles, and it is panels for like an altarpiece, and there should be another piece in the middle, but it is missing, and it is missing because these pieces were taken by the Nazis during World War II, and the middle one was never recovered. So they don't know where it has gone to, but they've got these two pieces. And at the end of this year, we'll watch the video, The Monuments Men, and it talks about that. It's a pretty cool movie, actually. And it talks about when that happened in our history. So interesting, but this is Albert Dürer. Okay, that is the end for today. Please really pay attention on these notes, guys. I noticed I don't think our quizzes went quite as well last week because I don't think we're being as thorough in your note taking. So make sure you are. Okay.